Hello, world. My name is Akish Aklok Mullins, and this is the Yak Report. This week in the news, Saucy Santana is being attacked by the Beyhive for some tasteless comments that he made about Blue Ivy some time ago. I really don't know at what time when because I really don't care. But the problem that I have here is comments were made, you were called out on it, and instead of apologizing and making amends for what it was that you did, you double down on it. You poke the literal beehive. And here is where we are today. But before we get started with today's show, I'm going to say this. Here on the Ock Report, we are here to learn the lesson in the story. We're not here to bash the women. We're not here to bash men. We're not here to bash the LGBT. We're not here to blame white people for our problems. We're not here for just Christian. We're not here for just Muslim. The Ak Report is here for everyone who is tired of the BS, tired of the lies, tired of being misled, and also tired of the sheep out there who know that the lies are lies, but are willfully going out and spreading the lies. Here on the Yacht Report, we focus on bettering ourselves. We focus on ourselves and not blaming someone else for our shortcomings and for things that we didn't accomplish in our lives. Because there's one thing that is true that you will learn is at the end of the day, the only thing on this planet, the only person on this planet that you control is yourself. You allow what happens in your life to happen because you allow it to happen. Things didn't go right in your life because you didn't allow them to go right in your life. Why? We all have things that happen in our life. We all experience setbacks. Some of us take those setbacks as lessons, regroup, and go back out again and do it all over again. Then there are some who take them as like that's just it. And it's you people that I'm talking to. Because just because something didn't go right the first time, the second time, the third time, or the last time, this next time may be that one time that you need to get everything back on track. But if you stop at that first time things went left, because you have to trust yourself, listen to yourself, believe in yourself, and do what you feel that makes you happy. I'm Akish Aklok Mullins. Welcome to the Yak Report. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. So, as I stated, Saucy Santana made an unflattering comment. If I'm not mistaken, it has something to do with, I guess, Blue Ivy's hair or something like that. I really don't know. Like I said, it doesn't matter. The one thing I do know is the comment that he made on Twitter was in reference to Blue Ivy. Blue Ivy is a child of Jay-Z and Beyonce. Even if Blue Ivy wasn't Jay-Z and Beyonce's child, even if Blue Ivy wasn't Blue Ivy and Blue Ivy was just some random child 999, it doesn't matter. No one should be online, openly or in private, speaking badly about a child. Because at the end of the day, what we fail to remember, mainly as adults, that the children sit and watch as you're speaking because you thinking that they're too ignorant or don't not even paying attention to what it is that you're saying, but they heard every word you said, and then they go and repeat the same bad behavior in process. No one should talk about anyone's child online or in private for what that child's hair look like, how that child's clothes look like, how poorly that child is looking out here in the public. Those comments should not be directed at the child. You should be questioning the parent for bad parenting in those situations by leaving the child out of it. We all know bad parents out here in this world that do a lot of different things. We know this. And those are the ones that need to be held accountable for these children being out here in the street. Because I will tell you this, what makes the matter worse with the comments that Saucy Santana made about Blue Ivy is the fact that if you said that you made the comment at a time when you was broke, you was down, you felt bad about yourself, and you're just trying to get seen, get out there. This isn't about bashing anyone. This is about all of us needing to learn a lesson and understand that there are certain things that you may think is funny, you may think is okay, but the problem here is you think it's funny, you think it's okay, or you and your small group think it's funny and okay, but it's not to the masses. And that's what we all have to understand and realize, that to us in our small group, things may be funny and okay. There are things that go on in the African American community that outside the community that people think are not okay. There are things that go on in the African American community that those of us in the African American community do not think are okay. You just can't go and do what you feel you want to do because you can. Just because you can do something don't mean that you should. Yes, making the comments about, I believe, like I said, I think it was about Blue Ivy hair, because I believe it was about Blue Ivy's hair, because at the time that was the biggest thing everyone was talking about. And my problem with this is it was grown women and LGBT males, men, who were talking about a child. As a society, people, do we not see that there is a problem here? The two groups that are out here arguing, yelling, demanding respect have a portion, a sector in those two groups that make the groups look bad. Because Saucy Santana is not the only one who made distasteful comments about Blue Ivy at the time that the Beyhive and everyone else want to talk about the comments that Saucy Santana made about Blue Ivy. There were a lot of people out there who was talking about Blue Ivy, talking about how Blue Ivy looked, talking about Blue Ivy hair, talking about a child. But yet, let that would have been your child people was talking about, or a child in your family that people was talking about. You would have been upset. You would have been online wanting to get everybody to get behind you to go against this person because they talked about someone in your family. But because you had low self-esteem, because you didn't love yourself, you didn't believe in yourself, because you was hurting and hurting yourself, because you didn't love and believe in yourself, because you let the outside world tell you that you weren't lovable, that you weren't worthless, because the world, the media, society, social media had your brain so confused, so messed up, had you at your lowest point, that instead of your mind saying, let me create a positive way to get attention, to gain clout, no, you want to do it the most distasteful, ignorant. I just don't, there are no words for what it was, really, what you did for what. And at the time, you wasn't even getting money. You didn't think so far ahead that these comments I make today, with where I want to go, with how I want my life to be, with how I want to live in the future, you didn't think that these comments I made today are going to affect me tomorrow? Did you not think that? Just because it's okay to do, just because you can do it, doesn't mean that you should. Just because it can, doesn't mean that you should. There is a rumor, because I'm going to call it a rumor because that's exactly what it is, because I remember quite clearly how 106 in Park met its untimely end, and I was happy when it did. The Beyhive, yes, is credited with winning a whole lot of wars, not battles like some of these other fans be winning, just not battles like some of these other, fans be winning. They win battles. So the Beyhive have been won a lot of wars and been credited with winning a lot of wars on behalf of their queen, Beyonce. Am I mad at them? No, I respect that. And before I get to this next thing, I'm going to say this. The reason why I respect it, see, the rest of you people out there like Saucy Santana, instead of you going out there making a fool of yourself, embarrassing yourself, and doing all these things and bringing down and destroying your brand, you need to focus on creating your brand, being positive and sowing positivity in the world. And from that positivity that you sow into the world will see, and there will be an army that is formed behind you to make sure that those in the world who want to bring you down cannot bring you down. This is the reason why I say I respect the Beyhive. Beyonce doesn't have to step down from her throne to deal with anybody that she feels is beneath her. She doesn't have to deal with anything that she feels is beneath her. Once in a blue moon, whenever she feels like she may step down and grace her Beyhive with a picture, with a comment, with whatever it is she's going to grace them with, they take it and they go back out and they do their work to protect the brand, which is what the Beyhive is doing here. What you're doing, you're alienating your own brand. Because at the end of the day, Saucy Santana, LGBT or not, everyone has children. Everyone loves their children. They were willing to forgive you when you made the statement that you made and said what you said, and that poor excuse for why you did what you did. Yeah, okay, it was fine. But then now, when you say you can't be canceled, you're gonna do what you want, and you basically poking. This reminds me of, I was gonna say, oh, you didn't mean any malice when you first made the comments about Blue Ivy. But then before I came to start to do this story, and as I was putting the story together, I had a thought. I do remember you first coming across my timeline, coming to my attention when you was on Love and Hip Hop Miami. Then, we had the little things that we have going on in the world, and I remember you being live streaming on Instagram and had an incident at a pool that also involved children. So this is the reason why I say that I can never be a fan of someone like you as a person, because there are a lot of those in your community that I'm a fan of. But you as a person make your community look bad. You as a person make yourself look bad, make your brand look bad. Because instead of saying you can't be canceled and you're going to do this or you're going to do that and further pouring gasoline on the flame, sir, all you have to do, apologize, change for the better. You're not that man that you were before. You're not that same man that you were when you made those comments about Blue Ivy. You're a different man now in a different space. And when I say about the wars that the Beyhive have won, one that they cannot lay claim to is this thing talking about they put an end to 106 in Park. That is not true. The Beyhive did not put an end to 106 in Park. See, they want to say the Beyhive put an end to 106 in Park because of some comments that Karuchi was supposed to have made about Blue Ivy's hair. By the time Karuchi got to 106 in Park, 106 in Park was flatlining. Here's a timeline of what happened with 106 in Park, and if you want to kind of, sort of, in some kind of way, allegedly fit in, try to shoehorn Beyonce and Jay-Z into somehow ending 106 in Park, you can. But the truth is, the reason 106 in Park was created was because MTV brought BET. MTV had TRL. TRL was live. It was called Total Request Live with Carson Daly. He was a cool white boy. Everybody liked him. We all watched him after school. We come home. We all watched TRL. TRL was fun. Everybody was on TRL. It was live. If you happen to be in New York, you can walk by. You might spot yourself on TV one day. Like I said, TRL was Total Request Live. It was live. That's why everybody loved it. It was live. 106 in Park was pre-recorded. It was boring. It didn't have the same energy that TRL was had, but AJ and Free were 106 in Park. You did watch 106 in Park because you liked AJ and Free. We all loved AJ and Free. So we didn't learn of the rumors of AJ and Jay-Z allegedly having a love child and alleged disappearing of the child, and then allegedly she leaves 106 in Park because one day we come home from school, we turn on 106 in Park, and there is no Free. We don't know what's going on with Free. At this time, the internet wasn't like how the internet is now, where we get that information of what's going on behind the scenes rapidly. Back then, it was, we really don't know. It was all hearsay. Nobody really was saying anything. And the reason why, because even back then, Jay-Z was Jay-Z. If you know, you know. When you built yourself and built your brand to the point where you can make things disappear, by all means, I ain't mad at nobody. You worked hard for it to make it happen. But 106 in Park died, or was put in the hospital, placed on life support, after AJ and Free left 106 in Park. AJ and Free left 106 in Park in 2005. That was the death of 106 in Park. Because after that, they tried desperately to get new hosts, and no one liked it. They went from 2 hosts to try to get 3, 4, 5 guest hosts. None of it worked. We wanted AJ and Free. We kept crying and hollering for AJ and Free, and they gave us any and everybody to try to make it work. The only reason why they made Karuchi say those words, Karuchi's a half-breed, so they thought they was going to try to some way sneakily get her in there and say it, and this was kind of sort of be okay, but it doesn't work that way. And number 2, they was trying to get ratings for the show. It didn't work. And what was the final nail in the coffin for 106 in Park? Carson Daly left TRL. And the same thing that happened with 106 in Park at the AJ and Free happened with TRL. Carson Daly left. They tried to get new hosts. They tried to get co-hosts. The new host, the co-host did not work. Nobody wanted them. We wanted Carson Daly. Carson Daly tried to do both his show and the other show at night that he got. It didn't work. He couldn't do it. He dropped out. Show lost ratings. TRL went. And anybody with common sense already knew the only reason why 106 Park lasted as long as TRL did is because if they would have took 106 Park off their air at the age 8 and free, because like I said, 106 Park was on life support. If they would have took that show off and left TRL on, it would have been called racism. Let's be honest here. They would have called it racism. So TRL went, they died, it was over. 106 Park went, it died, it was over. It had nothing to do with the Beyhive. They was already on death life support. Yes, the Beyhive has won many plenty wars, and they is winning this battle and this war right here with this gentleman. I mean, with this not so kind soul who made distasteful comment toward what makes this even worse. Blue Ivy was a baby at this time. So I think it's just time for us all to just, ladies and gentlemen, we live in a new age, in a new time, this time called social media. I forgot how long that I've been doing this, because for personal reasons, I stepped away for many years. But I'm back now, doing what I do best. Research, looking into things, catching up. I've caught up, I've done the research, and I see that there are a lot of you who are talented. There are a lot of you who are entertaining and who have something to give to the world, to create your own corner, your own pocket in this metaverse. But the problem is, instead of any of you, instead of the majority of you learning from the mistakes of others and improving and doing better, researching, figuring out what makes you happy, what you have to bring to the table, you want to copy what somebody else is doing to try to steal their whole life. Because another problem that I have that I almost forgot with this is Saucy Santana, what makes this disrespectful. And from your name, I'm going to say that you are not African American, Black, or descendant of slavery, which this isn't about race, nor this is about sexual orientation. This is about being right or wrong. Talking about this little girl's hair, and you're not even a part of the culture, or you're not even one of us. Because if you were, you would have known that what I'm about to say next is very disrespectful and has cost more people less than this to lose their lives. Because not only did you talk about Jay-Z and Beyonce's daughter, you had the nerve, the disrespect to go and sample her music, her style, but then you bashing her daughter? Like, where they do that at? Like, how do society, the world, my group, your group, allow this to happen? No one should be allowed to get away with something like that until they rectify the situation, which is called paying homage and making amends. Not to us, because Blue Ivy is not our daughter, not our cousin, not our loved one. Yes, we care for Blue Ivy. We've watched Blue Ivy grow throughout the years. We care for Jay-Z and Beyonce. But you don't owe that to us. You owe that apology, that genuine apology. Whether you like Beyonce or not, a fan of Beyonce or not, it doesn't matter. Respect is respect. I'm not a Beyonce fan, but I respect her work. I respect her accomplishments. I respect everything that she's been able to build, what she's been able to do. I don't have to be a fan to respect someone. Just genuinely apologize. Let it go. Change your ways. Do better. Be a better you. Be a different you. Or I have another one for you. How about you be the you that is the spokesperson for your group to show the world that we all can come together and get along? That it doesn't matter if you are black, white, gay, straight, or whatever it is you want to call yourself. We all make mistakes. We all say the wrong things. We all do the wrong things, but we all can apologize, grow, and move on from it. But it's things like this, situations like this, and things like this that don't bring us together. They just tear us apart. This argument should only be left at what you did as a person. Nothing else outside of that. As a person, just apologize. And for anyone else out there who is trying to build a brand, just find out who you are. Just because you like someone doesn't mean you have to copy them or be them. You can be you. Take the pieces of them that you like, add it to you, and create who you are. You don't have to do the ignorant stuff. You don't have to do the distasteful stuff. Just be you and let the world see you. And then maybe one day we can, like, seriously stop all this. Remember to like, share, comment, subscribe. I'm Akeisha Ackworld Mullins, and this is The Aqua.